Hey everyone, it is Jonathan, and it is actually Tuesday, July 14th, 2015. It's not Wednesday. I know usually whenever I do, a midweek update type thing, it's always on a Wednesday, or it's supposed to be. But there was just so much that went on this weekend. I honestly could not live with myself if I did not do the Comic Con catch up video I talked about on the Saturday show sooner. Um, First off, though, I would like to acknowledge that uh, all of us have collectively lost someone that we may not have known that mattered to us. On uh, the 12th, Satoru Iwata, I'm sorry, the 11th. I'm sorry, it was 11th. Anyway, Satoru Iwata was the president and CEO of Nintendo, and he passed away after a lengthy battle with cancer. So I would like to join, with everyone else who said this so far. Fuck cancer. It's a terrible disease, and I think it's actually hard to find someone who is not aware of someone who has some form of cancer or who has died from it. But if you don't know who he is, you at least have to know who Nintendo is. And like I said, Nintendo has given us a lot of really fun things over the year. And part of that was from Mr. Iwata. He lost my train of thought for a second. I'm sorry. He the last thing that I'm aware of that he actually discussed was E3 a couple weeks ago, and his last, or what's considered his last official statement as the CEO of Nintendo was actually to. It was an apology, but it was an indirect apology. A lot of Nintendo fans, a lot of gaming fans and whatnot were upset with Nintendo's panel at E3, and Mr. Iwata said that Nintendo was actually listening to their fans like they always have, and they promised to do better. Um, so I just wanted to take a moment, to acknowledge his passing, because even if you don't play Nintendo games regularly, even if you're not a big fan of Nintendo, it still probably affects you because we're all gamers. And Mr. Iwata himself was a gamer. He loved the games that he helped to code and Nintendo helped to make, and he loved it all. So if you play games, take a moment and remember Mr. Iwata. But now that I've done that, I want to read a statement, and then I'm going to get into talking what you're talking about. What is who? It gives me chill bumps thinking about this. I've cried over this one. Like I said, I've had goosebumps. It kept me up till about 6 o'clock this morning. I've had maybe 4 or 5 hours of sleep thinking about this because it's so beautiful. Like I mentioned on the Saturday show, there was a certain trailer that was shown, and a certain director walked out and he said to the audience, you're all comic book fans. We all know what you want. You're going to get what you want. And I have to say, having seen this, yes, we're getting what we want. But first, I want to read the statement. Excuse me. Warner Brothers Pictures and our anti-piracy team have worked tirelessly over the last 48 hours to contain the Suicide Squad footage that was pirated from Hall H on Saturday. We have been unable to achieve that goal. Today, we will release the same footage that has been illegally circulating on the web in the form it was created and high quality with which it was intended to be enjoyed. We regret this decision as it was our intention to keep the footage as a unique experience for the Comic-Con crowd. But we cannot continue to allow the film to be represented by the poor quality of the pirated footage stolen from our presentation. Sue Kroll, President, Worldwide Marketing and International Distribution, Warner Brothers Pictures. That's a fantastic statement, Warner Brothers. I don't know if you can hear me clapping and talking at the same time, but that's a fantastic thing to do. The reason being that when the Suicide Squad panel came up, and everyone knew, holy shit, the stars of this movie are there. They knew at some point in time they were going to be seeing footage. It was almost unquestionable. Um, and it doesn't matter whether you say, please don't record this, please don't record that. Um, Someone's going to record something, which is how we managed to get footage from the World of Warcraft uh, panel, and all the screenshots of the people in the movie dressed up as characters and whatnot. We all got to see it. But with Suicide Squad, the hope was, like this message says, that it will not be released to the public, that it will just be there and people can enjoy it at Comic-Con. It'll be special. No, every damn cell phone that someone had was taken out and recorded. That's why if you can go on YouTube right now and you can find probably 150 different versions easily of the exact same footage. So Warner Bros. Went ahead and released the actual Comic-Con trailer, and it's beautiful. It's just absolutely beautiful. I was very excited for the Batman vs Superman trailer, as I mentioned on Saturday show. But I'm even more excited for the Suicide Squad trailer. It looks as though the movie that we're going to get as fans of Batman, Harley Quinn, Killer Croc, Deadshot, Joker, every character that's in there, even if you don't know the members of Suicide Squad and don't know who makes them up, it looks as though we're actually getting the movie that we fucking want. Okay? It's beautiful. If you have somehow managed to avoid seeing Jared Leto's Joker, you need to see him. All doubts that I had and that everyone else seemed to have had of the promotional image where he's holding his head, and screaming, and he has the fake teeth put in, the tattoos and everything. Oh, that's blown out of the water. Seeing him move, hearing him talk, even getting to hear his laugh is amazing. Getting to see Margot Robbie, move and actually talk as Harley Quinn is cool. Now, granted, she only says a few lines. She only just very few lines that you actually hear her say. The first one that I can recall is her asking Amanda Waller if she's the devil. The second one that I remember is she's in the car with Joker while he's driving and being chased by Batman. And of course, there's a scene where Batman jumps on the roof, and she says, "Ha ha! I hope you got insurance." It's kind of cool to hear. It's just that a slight accent to her voice when she says it. And then the best line I think she has in there, I believe it was Captain Boomerang, said, "You know what they say about the crazy people?" And she's chewing gum, and she leans forward and she goes, "What?" It's perfect. It's all representative of Harley Quinn. And having looked at different versions of her character over the years, I can see a lot of references thrown in there to versions that people may not be familiar with. There is a scene in the trailer where it's her, clearly it's her, dancing around what seems to be a stripper pole. There was in one version of Harley Quinn, I believe it was one of the New Earth ones, but she was actually dancing. She was a stripper in a club. So that seems to be a reference to that. She has a baseball bat instead of the mace. She's got a few tattoos. She has a cute little costume. It seems that the version of Harley Quinn in here, who actually will be Harleen Quinzel, is going to be a reference, or at least some way, some kind of nod to every version of Harley we've gotten. The Joker character, the first glimpse you actually see of him is him wearing a long black trench coat. And if you ever watched Batman the Animated Series, you see him in there wearing a long black trench coat. Well, it wasn't black; it was kind of a dark gray, really. But he's wearing it in there. So in here, he's wearing this. They seem to be in a hospital, And I do know that Arkham Asylum will actually be in the movie. Uh, so, you know, him being in a hospital and speaking to somebody gives me the impression that what you're seeing is a flashback, uh, because uh, specifically with Harley, you see um, different different little clips of her. And when you first see her, she's in a cage. She's chained up. Her hair is exceptionally long. But when you see her at the end of the trailer, her hair is shorter. It's dyed. And she looks like all the promotional images of her have been. But in between, you have her, uh, kind of all dolled up and looking pretty and everything. So I'm thinking that the scene where Batman is chasing the Joker is actually a flashback. And at some point in time, we should be seeing the Joker interacting with her while she's still a doctor. Well, she stays a doctor throughout, but while she's still actively being only Harleen Quinzel. And what I'm thinking we're going to see is him torturing her and him breaking her down and him, you know, making her love him. Just because, as we discussed in a previous episode of the show, uh, Joker and Harley have a abusive relationship. He's totally in power with her, and she can't help but love him. So that's what I'm thinking we're going to see. And if that's what we're going to get, that's pretty cool, even if it's just a flashback. But anyway, Suicide Squad looks amazing. I've watched the trailer probably 47 times now, and I have not. I have yet to have fallen out of love with it. I love watching it. It's beautiful, and I'm actually really, 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 really super excited for it. Uh, so the next big thing, and possibly the the thing that's getting the most excitement about Comic Con is not even Batman versus Superman. It is not uh, um, Suicide Squad. It's something entirely different. What it is the Deadpool movie trailer. I believe I mentioned this on Saturday. I could be wrong, but we got the official Deadpool trailer released. Now, it has not been shown, to everybody, just the way the Suicide Squad trailer has been. But the people who were there, who saw it live and have watched it online, all seem to have the exact same reaction. Um, Holy shit, seems to be the reaction. Um, for those who are not familiar with who Deadpool is, um, very simply put, he is an enhanced person. Um, it's basically the same thing as Wolverine. He's had cancer all throughout his body. It's been removed, and he is now a super soldier. But he is a wisecracker. Uh, he's mercenary. He completely breaks the fourth wall on multiple occasions. And what's being shown in the movie is apparently nothing less than what he is in the comic book. Ryan Reynolds has, for years now, been trying to get the Deadpool movie made because he's actually a comic fan, and he was not happy with the version of Deadpool that we got in X-Men Origins Wolverine. No one was, though. And there was a decision made when that version of the character was done to actually sew his mouth shut, just so that they could avoid having him, pop off about everything. But that's the essence of the character. Deadpool is a smartass, and he makes jokes, and like I said, he breaks the fourth wall all the time. Uh, in the trailer, there is a scene where he's about to receive his treatment, and he's told, "We're going to make you into a superhero," and he says, "Please don't make the costume animated and don't make it green." Now, the last time Ryan Reynolds was in a superhero movie with a green costume that was animated was actually Green Lantern. So this is Ryan Reynolds taking a dig at his own movie. That's fantastic. And that is something that Deadpool would do. You know, um, the trailer opens with well, the first time you see him actually being Deadpool is he is on a overpass watching traffic go by, and he's dancing and singing "Shoot" by Salt and Pepper, and he's drawing a picture. Supposed to be drawing a picture. I have seen still shots that show this. I don't know if it's what he's actually drawing, uh, but supposedly uh, he's drawing characters from My Little Pony, and he's posing with them. I don't know if that's what he actually draws or not because you don't ever get to see the drawing in the trailer itself because it's cell phone footage and it's not very high quality. But if that's what he's doing, that would be another awesome nod to the character because Deadpool, um, basically, he represents everything that someone could be a fan of, and he's just a comic book character for people who like comic books and who like movies and TV and stuff like that. Um, but there are several dirty jokes in the movie. He calls at one point. Um, he's actually talking to Colossus, who's one of the X-Men, and he calls him, I think, a tin-footed cocksucker. No, cockmonger. Cockmonger. It's a cockmonger. And there's uh, a sequence later on where his appearance is like his appearance without his mask is being described, and he's described as a testicle with teeth, and looking like Freddy Krueger Facebooked a topographical map of Utah, stuff like that. And it's just these jokes that are put in there intentionally. And it was actually Ryan Reynolds who wanted them there. He said if a Deadpool movie is ever made, it has to be rated R because you cannot avoid the violence inherent in the system, I guess. So all these, adult type jokes are in there, and you have, the ultra violence, uh, the, including the one scene that I think most everyone has seen in some form. Uh, he was on. It's the exact same sequence as him being on the overpass and drawing a picture, and he jumps out of a vehicle, kills everyone there. Police are there, and they draw their guns. He raises his hand, and he makes a joke about why he's wearing a red costume so no one can see him bleed, and then he says that this one cop has made the right decision wearing brown pants. Well, later on, he actually gets a triple headshot against his law enforcement officers, and he sniffs his gun. And he says, "I'm touching myself tonight." That's just another little thing that was thrown in there, just to exemplify the violence. Because we're talking about a character who, like I said, is a mercenary. He kills people, but he's funny while he does it, and it seems to have been the best reviewed uh, trailer that was actually shown at Comic Con. People there who saw it loved it. They're excited about it. But now that the Suicide Squad trailer has been released, I think Suicide Squad may actually be getting um, more people's attention than Deadpool is, which is it's pretty exciting to think about. Let's see what else went on this weekend. Oh, there was so much that happened at Comic Con. Um, I didn't mention it on Saturday, and I probably should have. But there was an X-Men trailer, and we got to see the first image of what Apocalypse will look like. There actually was a trailer, a very short trailer release. Um, I haven't seen it, but I have seen some of the still shots, like the actual promotional shots of Apocalypse, and I've seen a picture that was put out on Twitter, and it's see, whenever I think of Apocalypse, I think of the version of him from the X-Men cartoon from the '90s, because that's what I remember. Um, this giant, purple gray robot man with this deep booming voice and cables all over him. That does not seem to be what we're getting in the new X-Men movie, but that's okay. What I've seen of him, I really like. If you saw, what movie was it? I believe it was the last X-Men movie that was put out. Um, there is a scene at the end of it. I'm actually going to have to go and look now to be sure. But there is a scene in the movie at the very end of it, the credits scene, where, excuse me, you see Apocalypse in Egypt, years and years and years ago, that actually building the pyramids. And there are four horsemen on the horizon coming towards him. That seems to be what we're getting is, this normal individual in, like dark clothing, who has a lot of what I guess you could perceive as magical abilities. And that's cool. Um, thus far, I've really enjoyed the take on the characters that the X-Men movies have done, except for Wolverine, but that's only because I'm tired of seeing Wolverine in every movie. But Hugh Jackman has actually decided he is going to be stepping down, so that's kind of a moot point. I think that's really it, though. I mean, there was there was a lot of stuff I wanted to talk about. Excuse me, but I could sit here and talk, all day about all these little individual things, or just mention the ones that were the most important to me. And you know, uh, Suicide Squad, and Deadpool, and stuff like that. Those are what really struck me the hardest. Because I already discussed on the Saturday show about the Batman versus Superman trailer. But that's, like I said, that's pretty much going to be it for right now. Um, I'm going to do, of course, the midweek update tomorrow. I'll have to find something to talk about. I don't know, probably politics, just for the hell of it. I don't know, really, but like I said, that's going to be it for this review. Um, I don't know if you saw the that ad she posted on Facebook. By the way, we do have a Facebook now. I don't know if you saw it, and uh, Danny will actually not be on the show this weekend. Uh, she will be out of town for the next 2 weeks, so it will most likely be just Nick and myself this week. And I'm going to move the the topic we're supposed to have, which is going to be the cartoon conspiracy. I'm going to move that until Danny can come back because I really want her to be a part of that because we discussed it, and it's something that she is really passionate about. So we're going to hold off on that. So so there will be no Danny, for the next 2 weeks. I've had a couple offers for who could be on the show, to take her place for a while, but I'm gonna leave that up as I'm gonna leave that to be a surprise. But yeah, that's gonna be it. And I promise this week. I promise. I'm sorry, I've been forgetting. I will do some more Iron Man challenge and starting zone playthroughs and everything. Um, and if I don't, you can all come over to my house and kick me or something. I don't know, but that's gonna be it for this little wrap up. So I will see all of you tomorrow, actually, and then we'll have the Friday show, and it's gonna be awesome. I promise. I'm trying really hard not to let anyone down. I know Danny is everyone's favorite co-host, even more so than Nick. So I'm sorry she won't be here, but we're gonna do our best. I promise. Um, remember to look us up on Facebook. Give the page a like, share it, invite your friends to like it, and remind them all, videos at least twice a week. So remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff thank you for watching. I'm sorry I kind of rambled towards the end of this, but, what do you expect? It's me, I ramble. Have a great day. Bye-bye.